So when I had my son 13 years ago, I remember my friends telling me who'd had babies already, put your baby on your breast the minute he's born. Um, you know, even if nothing's coming out, leave him there until it is. And I was really lucky to have that advice and to be able to successfully breastfeed my son until he was about a year old and my daughters until they were 6 and 9 months old, respectively. But some people are now saying that breastfeeding is dangerous because of flame retardants in the mom's body that are transmitted to the baby through breast milk. And this really makes me mad because even though, yes, this is true that we do have flame retardants in our bodies, there are so many benefits to breastfeeding that to point to this as a reason not to breastfeed is really throwing out the baby with the bathwater, if I can wrench an aphorism. So breastfed infants have lower rates of infection, SIDS, and a whole host of other problems. Breastfed infants actually have lower rates of cancer as adults. And yes, it is true that Americans now record flame retardant blood levels as much as 100 times higher than Europeans because of our the government's enforcement of using flame retardants in furniture and bedding and materials and things, anything with foam, basically. And the chemicals are transmitted through dust to our lungs and our blood, and yes, through our breast milk to our children. They are linked to cancer, as well as neurological, developmental, and fertility problems. But the benefits really outweigh the concerns, and especially for moms. Moms who breastfeed have show less bleeding after childbirth, lower rates of ovarian and breast cancer, and also just the bonding experience that you have with your child is just extraordinary. So sadly, many of us don't breastfeed. Although the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that women breastfeed for a minimum of 6 months, only 26% of Black women, 43% of Hispanic women, 45% of white women, and 50% of Asian women follow that practice according to the CDC. So we need to do what we can to increase the rates of breastfeeding, not scare people away from it. So yes, we now have chemicals in our bodies. Babies are born with 200 chemicals in their bodies, and that's because they get them from us, from our environment. But there are things that you can do to lower the amount of chemicals in your breast milk as a whole. Eat and use organic products, stay away from pesticides, eat lower on the food chain, do what you can do to reduce your exposure to flame retardants, especially in what you're doing to outfit your baby's room to reduce his or her exposure to flame retardants, when you're choosing a baby mattress, when you're choosing pillows, strollers. Look for brands that have phased out flame retardants, and those are pretty easy. In fact, you can go to Mommy Greenest, and I have a whole article on this that lists brands. So anyway, hopefully this helps, and hopefully if you are planning on having a baby, will also plan to breastfeed, and just put that baby on your breast and do it as long as you can, because it's so good for all of us. Okay, please like, share, comment below. Did you breastfeed? Why or why not? What was your experience? What was your experience also? This is always interesting to me with people who feel like they've been stigmatized by breastfeeding or by not breastfeeding. That's something that's foreign to me too, because we all do what we can and what fits what we can. Let's leave it at that. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments, and then please tweet me questions at Rachel L. Sarnoff, and I will see you here on Friday. Thank you.